At Bill Gatton Honda, we make car buying easy with our competitive pricing and award-winning service. Get a 2017 Honda Civic LX as low as $169 a month. Or how about the 2017 Honda HR-V LX for only $189 a month? And don't forget our 2017 Honda Fit LX for $139 a month. Visit us online 24/7 at BillGattonHonda.com. And remember, we've got a Honda with your name on it. Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol, we have a used vehicle with your name on it. We have the region's largest selection of used vehicles. Don't miss your chance to save thousands on hundreds of certified, pre-owned imports, domestics, trucks, cars, and SUVs. You get a KBB instant cash offer to buy your vehicle whether you trade or not. Visit us online at BillGattonHonda.com or come by and see us in Bristol on the Parkway. And remember, at Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol, we have a used vehicle with your name on it.
Harry has a Honda, Holly has a Honda, Howard got a Honda too. Jerry's got a Honda, Freddie's got a Honda, you know what you got to do. Bill Gatton is a friend for sure, he's looking out for you. After all these years, it's time for you to drive a Honda too. Bill Gatton has a Honda for you.
And remember, we've got a Honda with your name on it.
Welcome to Bill Gatton Honda. We want to make your experience simple and easy. Our staff has been servicing our area for generations. You will always be greeted with a smile and receive friendly service. At Bill Gatton Honda, you're not just a friend, you're family. We dedicate our time and experience to helping you find the right car for your needs. Come see us today and let us help you make car buying simple. Because at Bill Gatton Honda, we got a Honda with your name on it.
Coming to you live, and at the end of the live here at Quaker Steak and Lube, David Dow and Ray Johnson, and it's Wednesday, so that means Inside Viking Sports and a new time, 5 o'clock here through the rest of our broadcast season. back into football season, which will be the first week of August. We'll go back to 6 o'clock right here at Quaker Steak and Lube. But Ray and I are just sitting here talking. We usually get here, about this time to get set up, or a little bit after, and looking out over the restaurant, and it is slammed. That's good. That's a good thing, So
it is. There's a real good crowd in here. There was a good crowd last week, and
yes,
like you said, we're an hour earlier.
Than what we normally are. Yeah. So we've got a boatload of people in here. I'm telling you, that's fantastic. But it's Wednesdays. It means it's going to be 60-cent boneless wing night here at Quaker Steak and Lube, and great way to come in and try all the flavors. Again, 27 different flavor profiles on the lube tube up here, or on the Scoville heat unit on the chart. Let's put it that way. But we start at 50 and go all the way up to 500,000, which is the triple atomic. And Ray has decided he will do 26 to 27, and exactly that right. Last one never again.
No. You learn your lesson. You get to a certain age, you think you're smarter than then you mess up again. So, it will be a lot easier on my grandchildren now.
You got that right. So, but you can try these flavors out if you just want to taste test and say, I'd like to try this. And they're more than glad to bring you a souffle cup out and let you taste those. And they do not care to do it. They've been doing it since they've been open, and it's going on 3 years now. And so just ask them, and they'll do that. Of course, they've gotten in. They have wraps now. They have salads, ribs, hamburgers, any kind of chicken just about that you'd want. They have it as well. Of course, there's specials every single day. Monday, all-you-can-eat wings, and 60-cent bonus wings tonight. Of course, have a rib special going on, steak specials going on all during the week, and as always, live music on the weekend. So looking forward to we thought we were going to get outside, and we did for a couple of weeks, Ray, but everybody's bundled up and back inside now, and so we're not going to be we ain't going to be playing around out there for a couple of days anyway. Just a bit nippy.
It is.
The patio is open, however, and it's heated, and so they have a siding up around there if you want to go out and have your meal out there. You can more than glad to do it. They'll wait on you just out there.
Right now.
No, there's not, but it is warm out there. In all honesty, it is warm out there, and it is enclosed. They have the flaps down on the patio, so if you want to go out there and have a seat and chit-chat with your friends or family or whatever, come on down. You can do that as well. Again, live music this weekend as we are. Of course, Saturday, a big day here at Quaker Steak and Lube. It is St. Patrick's Day. There's going to be a lot of green in here. And so I think there's a couple of desserts maybe that have got some greenish flavor to it. Drinks, the whole 9 yards. They're going to be having a big time, and they will be having live music at night on St. Patrick's Day as well right here at Quaker Steak and Lube. So come on down, be a part of the show, give us a holler. Tonight we will have the head coach of the Vikings soccer team, the guys' soccer team. Andy Snyder will be here, and Coach Snyder will be here. It's his first year as head coach of the Vikings, and they've gotten off to a good start in the preseason. We talked to Andy a little bit ago, and his wife is here and family, and so they're going to have dinner, and then Andy will join us here in a little bit. But he's looking forward, and of course we know family of Andy's as well. So we'll be talking with him about the outlook for the soccer program this year and what his expectations are. He'll go through the rosters, a lot of familiar names on there that we already know from football season and other stuff. But looking forward to talking to Andy. They'll be getting their season underway next week. They're going to be hosting Dobbins Bennett. Got DB at the Castle next Tuesday, March the 20th. So we'll be talking to Coach Snyder about that. Also, track is going to be getting underway next week, as does tennis. Matter of fact, tennis has got, I happened to look up Reedy's schedule he had sent me, and matter of fact, they have back-to-back Knoxville schools before they even get in to seeing anybody else. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But Ray, the Lady Vikings were scheduled to host or be at University High Monday in
Right.
softball. Did not get a chance to get that game in, and I talked to Coach DeClerc, and Chancellor told me, he said, if, in quotation marks, if we make this game up, then it'll be announced, and we'll let you know a date and time on it. But that, again, she said if on there. So I think one of the other things they got to do is they got to open up their season at the Lady Vikings softball complex at Rotary Field, just for those people that want to know about that. They got off to not a good start yesterday. The JV had some really good spots. Talking to Coach DeClerc, though, she said this is a very, very, very young softball team, and they know they're going to take their lumps. We talked about it last week, as a matter of fact, Ray, when we were talking about this team. It has 6 freshmen, 5 sophomores, and 4 juniors and seniors of each class on that team. But they've got some very, very talented softball players. They're just very, very young with a lack of varsity experience.
Yeah. They're winners. They've come from a good program, and they'll be going straight right in, from Vance. And I love talking with her, with her attitude and giving all the students the praise, and everything.
Right.
And that's what you want to hear from a young coach. She's just getting started with them, and it's going to take a little bit of time, but there's a good program in process.
It is.
Right now,
I would agree, Ray. Of course, the other thing is, we talked about this last week too, but David Boggs has moved up from Vance. He's over at Tennessee High School.
Right.
And David was the head coach of the sophomore class and the freshman, this freshman class this year at Tennessee High, and he's done an outstanding job over at Vance with them. He just basically moved right with them.
Yes.
Kim Bright, the former Lady Viking basketball head coach, is now an assistant coach with the softball team, and Kim is an excellent coach, excellent person, and I think you've got a really good core of mechanics of coaches right there that they know what to do and what not to do, and who they can tweak and not tweak, and that's one of those things that them being around these students as much as they are, and especially the last couple of years, they know who they're going to be able to get in there and get out and make things roll. And like I said, they're just getting started this year. They're in the first game. They've been doing play days the last couple of weekends, and they have had some success. But they're freshmen, they're sophomores. They don't have, it's going to take them a couple of weeks to get into the flow of things, but they did lose to the Toppers yesterday. That game was also scheduled to be in Johnson City. They moved it up to Bristol yesterday, and so they did take one on the chin in the varsity yesterday to the Toppers also. But there was some in the JV game. Miss Craddock smacked her a 3-run home run yesterday in the JV game. I had an outstanding game for the Lady Viking JV, and then a not so good thing as freshman Keegan Myers suffered a broken leg yesterday in the JV game. So our best wishes go out to Keegan for a speedy recovery.
Yes.
And I noticed on Twitter a couple of other teams that tweeted out to the Lady Vikings, best wishes and for a speedy recovery and that kind of thing. And that's always nice. But they get back into it again Thursday, I think, or Friday. They're going to Pigeon Forge and play in the Ripken Experience tournament down in Pigeon Forge, and so they'll meet a couple of different teams. And this is a pretty good tournament too. They've participated a couple times in Ripken, and so you've got some teams you're probably not going to see otherwise from across the state or up in Kentucky or North Carolina, wherever. It gives you a chance to see some different competition really before you get into the meat of your conference schedule. So looking forward to see how they do this weekend. They'll regroup and get ready, and like I said, they're young, and they might take some lumps for a little bit, but there's one thing: they're going to give 200%.
Right. And one game don't make the season.
It really does. And it's hard to start off the season with a conference team. Of course, we're seeing the same thing in baseball,
Yeah.
but it's hard to do that. So you've got to.
You don't get to ease into it here.
No, you don't. And the good thing is, they still have 14 more games at home, and that is a plus. I think once they get in a little bit of a groove and know what to expect. I know they know what their expectations are, but once you can kind of focus and you used to playing a varsity schedule as opposed to playing once a week,
right,
or twice a week for some, and I know they're playing summer ball, which is what we talked about last week also. But one of the things that I think once you get into knowing how to train, how to play, how to the things when you're playing 4 and 5 times a week, that takes a toll. And you got good thing is they've got their building depth also, which is going to come in handy at the end of the year, really next year for a fact, though. So, Lady Vikings start after season 0-1 and 0-1 in conference play, and they'll go to the Ripken Experience this weekend at Pigeon Forge. So, looking forward to getting some information back from Coach DeClerc on how the Lady Vikings are doing. As I said, Viking track begins next Tuesday. It's an all-comers meet at Elizabethton, so there'll probably be 6 to 8 schools down there in that track meet, and hopefully at some point in time, if we can coerce Randy Irvin or Brad Stubbs into coming and speaking on radio, or we might be able to get them to give us some information. But I've asked them both, and they said, "Well, we're busy." They're really not. I think they're feared cats, fraidy cats.
They're feared.
Yeah. So, but in all honesty, the Lady Vikings track team do get underway next Tuesday, March the 20th, at Elizabethton at the all-comers meet. So, Viking tennis and Lady Vikings, they get started next week. I don't know if they've been indoors. I would be willing to bet they have been.
Yes, I'm sure.
Someplace, and just to get practice time in and make sure they're on edge.
They'll,
exactly.
And you know that they will. They know what it takes. There's a program that they know exactly.
Well, they both do. I mean, they've gone from no one knowing who they were, period, to everybody knows who both of them are now.
Right.
And not just the Vikings, because they've won the state championships, but the Lady Vikings have gotten to the regionals and sub-state for the last 3 years. They're going to be playing somebody Tuesday that just had their number, though. So they get started next Tuesday at the Webb School in Knoxville with the Spartans and Lady Spartans, or these Spartans, I guess. They're not Lady Spartans, but they'll be at the Webb School next Tuesday. That is not, that's a pretty good match to start your season with, and especially on the road. We know how Rudy is. He wouldn't care who they played. I know he was telling the guys last year they had Radford on the schedule, or thought they did. And he was telling everybody, they said, Radford. He said, "Yeah, man, we're playing Radford University." And the guys are going like, "Well, bring them on then,"
Yeah.
Of course, they would. They didn't care.
No.
But that's the kind of mentality they have now, and they don't care. I mean, they're confident enough that they'll go up and they'll play anybody, and they don't care if they have to go on the road and play them. Right. They absolutely do not. As a matter of fact, all of Tennessee High's toughest matches are all on the road this year, pretty much. So, of course, you have a home-and-home with DB and Science Hill, which you do every year, but it's going to be those 3 schools again.
Sure.
And, with the Lady Vikings, the same thing. They are hunted now. DB's got a freshman and a sophomore that are playing on their team right now that are really good. But you don't know how much depth they've got past them.
Right.
And the same way with the Lady Vikings. They only lost 1 senior last year, so the entire squad is back for the Lady Vikings. So they'll be, both teams will be going to the Webb School down in Knoxville next Tuesday, March the 20th. I think that's what day it is. Yeah. And then the 23rd, they're going to be playing in Bearden, and they'll be playing them at Liberty Bell. For whatever reason, they didn't want to come up to Bristol, I guess, and play them or whatever. But
so once again,
they're going to be playing on the neutral court.
Neutral court, but at the same time, you're getting tested by fire right off the bat.
You are, and and Bearden has had the Lady Vikings number for the last 3 years. I mean, that has kept them from going to state. Yeah, that's just all there is to it. If they could get past Bearden, they'll be headed to the state tournament. But very good. Bearden's girls team is very, very good, and again, they'll take on Knox Webb, the Webb School of Knoxville, and Knox Bearden both next week at the Webb School in Knoxville, and then at Liberty Bell Complex in Johnson City. That's a complex in there, Ray.
Yeah.
In Johnson City at Liberty Bell, and they'll be taking on the Bearden Bulldogs. So, and of course, speaking of Bearden, their guys basketball team, and Tyler Place, who played at Tennessee High and is now assistant coach at Bearden. They are playing in the state tournament today, and haven't seen an update. They're on Central Time, needless to say, so we'll get caught up with them, and if we get an update, we'll let you know how they're doing. But Bearden goes into that game today at 37-1. They're ranked number 2 in the state, behind Memphis East, and Memphis East did win today, beat Blackman, which was no surprise, but I think it's 56-33, something like that. Should Bearden win, that's who they would play next.
Yeah.
But yes, they've lost one game all season, and that was to Columbus, Mississippi, the Arby's runner-up.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, Columbus won the state championship in Mississippi. So congratulations to our Arby's Classic runner-up. They win the state championship in Mississippi. North Mecklenburg also, while we're talking about that, got to the semifinals and got knocked out. The team that defeated them, they were playing for state championship. They hadn't really even looked back to see what they did, but I think they finished their season at 29-2.
Yeah.
And so you got them at 29-2. Bearden was 37-1 going into the games, and so that top four did some damage in state tournaments.
Well,
that's a good thing.
What a great classic we had this year.
Yeah, and we've talked about this. I told Coach Enzer, I said, man, Bearden and North Mecklenburg is not leaving Viking Hall without a signed contract. I think you get them back next year for sure.
Yeah.
So, when we take a break, I'll try to effort a score on the Bearden Bulldogs. And again, Tyler Place that played at Tennessee High, now an assistant coach at Bearden. And of course, Scott, his dad, is the head varsity coach at Vance Middle School, and so they had a really good season as well this year at Vance Middle School with the varsity basketball team. Don't know anything about Vance Viking baseball. I know they got weathered out twice last week. If I'll try and if we find out something, we will. Right now, they've outscored their opponents 35-2 though in 3 games. They're 3-0 right now. They picked up a 10-0 shutout win over Gate City down at Avoca Field down at Avoca Elementary last Monday, and I don't think they've had any games since. And I know they were scheduled to play one Friday and ended up canceling that one as well. So that should get everybody caught up to date on just about everything going on with Tennessee High Vikings, Advanced Vikings, and all things going on in between. So we will take us a break, and we are at Quaker Steak and Lube. It is Boneless Wing Wednesday, and 60-cent boneless wings here at Quaker Steak and Lube. Again, try any of the 27 flavor profiles that you so desire. You can come in, and if you just want a sample, they will do that for you. But a lot of stuff going on. Of course, we'll be doing Singo at 7 o'clock tonight also, and later, I think the 1st of April is what they said, maybe. May we get back into karaoke. I think they want to make sure it's really warm outside. So I think it's May, but we're getting ready. We're going to have bike night starting back up on Thursdays again, and I know that they are working with Black Wolf for a fundraiser. Quaker Steak and Lube is, which is something they've been doing for a couple of years now. So we'll talk more about that as it comes. That will also be in April. But tonight, come on down, 60-cent bonus wing night here at Quaker Steak and Lube. You're listening to Inside Viking Sports on ESPN Tri-Cities. Back after this.
At Bill Gatton Honda, we make car buying easy with our competitive pricing and award-winning service. Get a 2017 Honda Civic LX as low as $169 a month. Or how about the 2017 Honda HR-V LX for only $189 a month? And don't forget our 2017 Honda Fit LX for $139 a month. Visit us online 24/7 at BillGattonHonda.com. And remember, we've got a Honda with your name on it. Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol, we have a used vehicle with your name on it. We have the region's largest selection of used vehicles. Don't miss your chance to save thousands on hundreds of certified, pre-owned imports, domestics, trucks, cars, and SUVs. You get a KBB instant cash offer to buy your vehicle whether you trade or not. Visit us online at BillGattonHonda.com or come by and see us in Bristol on the Parkway. And remember, at Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol, we have a used vehicle with your name on it.
Harry has a Honda, Holly has a Honda, Howard got a Honda too. Jerry's got a Honda, Freddie's got a Honda.
ESPN Tri-Cities, we are at Quaker Steak and Lube, and 60-cent bonus wing night here at Quaker Steak, and we're going to be joined by the head coach of the Vikings soccer team, Andy Snyder, and David Dow, myself here, along with them, and Ray Johnson also. So, again, as we said, 60-cent bonus wing night here at Quaker Steak and Lube. 27 flavor profiles on the chart up here. The Scoville heat unit goes from 50 to 500,000, and looking forward to eating some wings here after we get finished tonight, maybe, and hopefully have some family come and join me as well. But Ray heads back to us here, and as I said, Ray has decided he will do 26 of those 27 flavor profiles. That top one, he had enough of it 2 weeks ago, and he said he ain't that dumb twice.
Yeah, I'm a wiser man now.
You are. Yeah, you are.
I'm glad I done it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've hounded you to death. You know, Chris and John and myself, we ate them a couple of times, and you just kept putting it off. I tell you, it takes some guts to eat that. And in all honesty, I won't say it's not hot because it is hot, but I think it's the way that you eat them.
Josh, I don't think we'd had any trouble with them. Me, it was just more than I can handle. Now I love right underneath it, right there, the supercharged.
Yeah,
and the
it's a 30,000. Yep.
And the dusty ghost pepper. That's
dusty ghost pepper's really good. That's 11.7. I got those last week. Yeah. Those are good wings. So I might have to do something like that again tonight, Ray. But you can do the challenge even if you want to. They'll bring you bone-in wings here. They give you the gloves. You have to sign a form to say them. I'm going to try this.
I think that's what we're going to do tonight.
Yeah, Andy's going to do that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
But we're going to, they will let you sign a waiver and do that. And as a matter of fact, we've got some friends that we see on Thursdays. I noticed they were down here last Wednesday, I think, and they were 3 of the 4 were partaking of the atomic wings. They had their gloves on. They were. That's a bad thing to do is post that to Facebook when we're going to be seeing them tomorrow, you know.
I don't think they fared much better than I did.
I don't think they did either. So, but again, there's wraps here, there's salads here, any kind of steak. You know, there's steaks here. They're really good. The Thunderbird steak is really, really good. Hamburgers are excellent here. If you want. And I talk about this because I like blue cheese crumbles on mine. It is not on the menu, but they will. If you ask them and tell them you have to have blue cheese crumbles on your hamburger, they'll be more than glad to fix it for you. Macaroni bowl, one of Michelle's favorites. Sharon likes it as well, and we will tell you it'll make 2 meals easily. And so that's there. The taco
tacos I love.
Yeah. Ray's gotten into fish tacos now and likes those, and so there's a lot of different things here, menu items here, and of course, whatever you want, they're going to be more than glad to take care of you. Excellent service here. Never seen anybody not get treated the way they're supposed to.
And, they treat their people very well down here because they don't leave. You know, you walk in.
You're right. We see the same people. There's people here that we've seen since they opened up.
That's a testament within itself, you know, because you're not going to work. If they don't treat you right there, you're not going to be there long.
Right.
You know?
If they don't like you, they get.
Well, that was always my case. But I mean, you can just tell that's something I always pay attention to.
Yeah, and we've had same people working with us just about every day, and we're very, very appreciative of it. Again, this is the third year. Well, they've been open 3 years in June, so we've been here 2 years now, or 3. We have been here 3 years now.
We'll be.
And of course, we already know that we're going to be back for another full year next year, and so thanks to everybody here, Brad Smith, the general manager, April, our marketing director, and I know you just heard a new commercial on ESPN Tri-Cities, and so 2 locations here in Bristol on State Street, and if you are going to Bearden down in Knoxville, it's right across from Bearden High School on Kingston Pike. You cannot miss it. And as I said, that might be one of those days like April the 21st when it's the orange and white game. Head down to Knoxville and in between there or before or something, go down, have a meal, go watch the orange and white game, and then go over to Lindsey Nelson Stadium, and it'll be baseball because the Vols are playing Texas A&M that day. So that's what I'm. You've got a whole day. That's what I'm thinking. But we'll see if it happens or not. But a lot of stuff going on here at Quaker Steak and Lube. Again, we're getting ready to start our karaoke back up here. Started in May. We'll be doing that when it warms up. There's live music every weekend. They definitely support live music here at Quaker Steak and Lube. I can assure you they do. They love it, and they bring people in. They've got some really good local bands and some from outside the outlying area. I know up to Roanoke and from that area, and bring those in Lynchburg and stuff, bring them down. And so looking forward to getting in some music outside back out on the patio and see how things go. So it's always a lot of fun. Of course, I don't want to forget this also, bike nights on Thursday night. Of course, they'll start up the block parties where they block off from State Street down to the library, and that's always a fun night too. But all that's hopefully we can get through this this cold snap. We got one more to go. I think it's blackberry winter or something crazy. Something ignorant. But anyway, we'll try to get through this winter. And as Ray and I were looking out the press box window down at Crockett yesterday, started watching the snowflakes, and man, live it was. Ray thought it was trees blowing over those
blooms flying.
It was the Bradford pears or whatever those were, and I went, "Man, that's snow." We actually got some company, and a couple of girls came up from Crockett students. They had 2 or 3 blankets on them.
Yeah, their faces just as red as
had to aggravate them. So, and speaking of Viking baseball, Vikings are off to a 2-0 start in conference play and overall. They won Monday night at Todd Houston over Crockett by a score of 24-2. They end up scoring 16 runs in the 4th inning, Ray, and Crockett just couldn't get them out. And it wasn't anything. Some of the best sportsmanship I think I've seen. It really was.
I hate to harp on that, but that was just a testament to to solid personnel coaching. Because as well as I do, the Vikings could have put 10 more runs on them.
They easily could have.
And Coach Preston Roberts was holding them on base,
right.
And everything. But you can't tell them not to hit the ball.
Yeah, and that's basically what happened. I mean, they found holes and they were dropping in, and I think Crockett had 2 errors for the game. One of them cost them like 3 runs that 4th inning, but it was still things going in, still just dropping in, and it was like soft shots into the outfielder, and then there's like 2 that bangs off the wall, miss going out by a foot. I mean, there's just not a lot you can do about that. So Bodie Baker with the win gets goes 5 innings, strikes out 2.
Fantastic game.
Strikes out 2, gave up 2 hits on the game also. 1 earned run, and of the 2 that they gave up, only one of those was earned. and as the Vikings had a boo-boo or two in opening jitters, but come back and Gavin Cross and Jason Van Noy and Tanner Booker and Jason Van Noy both 4 for 4 in the game, 3 RBIs each, and scored like 2 or 3 times as well. Gavin Cross with 4 RBIs in the game, and then we go back down there yesterday, get 2 on the board early, scored the first and second innings, didn't score the third, and that's the first time this year in those first 2 games that they hadn't scored. Come back and then score 6 in the fourth, and end up winning 13-1. And Davis Hall gets the win. Also had a pretty decent day at the plate as well. So they did what they needed to do, and just hit the ball again. Found some spots where they needed to, got some spots, just balls dropping in and stuff, and then the wind that inning was crazy. I mean, it was blowing left to right, in and out, and it's whipping around. We saw a couple of balls hit into right field, and Gavin Cross got one in that crosswind up there, and it just kept carrying the right fielder. He made the wrong turn to begin with, which probably did cost him a chance to get up to the ball. But having said that, I don't think it was going to matter because he turned back and it turned him. He was going to have to turn another way anyway. And so it carried and cleared at about 350, I guess, somewhere out there, about 352, because it cleared it. And so Gavin gets the first home run of the season and his first of the season. And the Vikings win 13-1. Again, Davis Hall, the winning pitcher, throws 56 pitches, picked up 3 strikeouts, gave up 2 hits and a walk, and he also hit a batter. He was also 3 for 3 at the plate with an RBI and a run scored. So the Vikings get back on the field tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I'm trying to think what the day is. We'll be in Morristown tomorrow, and Vikings will take on Morristown West at 5 o'clock. They'll take on Granger at 7 o'clock tomorrow at Morristown West on the Trojans. On Friday, the Vikings will take on Knox Central at 5 o'clock.
At
Morristown East, and then take on the Hurricanes at 7 o'clock. And then we'll have Saturday off and Sunday off. Monday will be at Volunteer down at Jimmy Whalen's stomping grounds. I have to give him a hard time, Ray. I want to teach you about him before we go. And then we'll be back here on Tuesday. The Vikings will be taking on Volunteer at Todd Houston on Thursday. Gate City will be coming in. On Friday, it'll be Johnson County, that game at 5 o'clock. And then on Saturday, Richlands will be at Todd Houston Field, that game at 1 o'clock. So we've got 6 games this week, 5 next week, and I think 5 the following week. It's baseball season, and hopefully the weather holds out and we can get them on there. So that is our plan. But a lot of Viking baseball still to go. And again, we'll be on air at 4:45 tomorrow at the Dr. Deborah Basham pregame show right here on ESPN Tri-Cities. Let's take another break real quick, and then when we come back, it'll be head coach of the Viking soccer team, Andy Snyder, and we'll be right back here at Quaker Steak and Lube inside Viking Sports. Back after this.
Welcome to Bill Gatton Honda. We want to make your experience simple and easy. Our staff has been servicing our area for generations. You will always be greeted with a smile and receive friendly service. At Bill Gatton Honda, you're not just a friend, you're family. We dedicate our time and experience to helping you find the right car for your needs. Come see us today and let us help you make car buying simple. Because at Bill Gatton Honda, we got a Honda with your name on it.
Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol, we have a used vehicle with your name on it. We have the region's largest selection of used vehicles. Don't miss your chance to save thousands on hundreds of certified, pre-owned imports, domestics, trucks, cars, and SUVs. You get a KBB instant cash offer to buy your vehicle whether you trade or not. Visit us online at BillGattonHonda.com or come by and see us in Bristol on the Parkway. Hey, remember, at Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol, we have a used vehicle with your name on it. At Bill Gatton Honda, we make car buying easy with our competitive pricing and award-winning service. Get a 2017 Honda Civic LX as low as $169 a month. Or how about the 2017 Honda HR-V LX for only $189 a month? And don't forget our 2017 Honda Fit LX for $139 a month. Visit us online 24/7 at BillGattonHonda.com. And remember, we've got a Honda with your name on it.
By the way, I thought about that. But Andy, y'all have gotten off to, well, first of all, this is your first year as head coach. Talk a little bit about, being here now and taking over and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, well, first off, if I don't say something to my wife, gotta give a shout out to her.
Sure.
My parents as well. They came down here to support me, so they know I'm a little nervous. But Christy, I love you and thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic to be back. I mean, I graduated from Tennessee High back in '08, so I'm an alumni. So I'm one of, I think, several alumni who are now back either teaching or coaching or both. Extremely blessed. I was the assistant for 2 years under the previous coach, Coach Kickle, and due to some things, I stepped up and am now taking over, and it's exciting. Like you said, we're off to a phenomenal start. My guys, I've got 21 guys on the roster, and every single day in practice, every single game, it's 21 guys competing to start, and that, we're talking about baseball and football's coming up, track. I think that's what I have is one of that group of kids that they want to start, and they're fighting and they're hustling, and they're giving 100% effort in everything they do, and it shows on the field. I know several of the baseball players from class, and I know that's what Coach Roberts has. Softball, I have several of those girls as well, and I see it even in class, and it shows up on that field, and I think that's especially these spring sports. I think we have an incredible group of kids.
Yes.
And the 21 I have, I'm a little biased, but I have the 21 best. That's
sure. You should feel that way.
That's the way it should be.
Looking at the roster, we know there's at least probably 6 people on there. For in fact know who they are, or know who their brothers or sisters are, or they've been in sports at Tennessee High as well. But as we said, you've gotten off to a great start. 3-0-1 in preseason. I'm gonna brag on you because you had the alumni game last Saturday. Is that correct?
Yes,
or
sir.
Saturday before last, the 3rd. Yeah, so it was 2 weeks ago. But I think John O'Dorsey played in it for the alumni in that game, and and a couple other guys, and their comments to us or to me was, and what I found out, they said that this team was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
This was coming from the former players.
Well, that's definitely one of the best teams they've fielded in a while. So it was nice.
Yeah, but they said this is a really good soccer team. This is a really good team. That they played well together. That they didn't let up. They stayed after the old guys, and that's what we call them. But because they ain't not Ray and my age, obviously, but they're being wheelchairs as it were. They said they were very competitive. They liked the way that they did things. That they could tell they were well coached. That they thought they had a chance to do some things this year, and they said of the last 3 years or so that they played, this was by far the best team they'd seen Tennessee High put on the field against it. And a lot of these guys, they have been playing. They come back every year and play, and so that's a good thing.
Well, that makes me happy, and you know, going back, it's that effort. I preach to him every day. I preached to him back when we were you know, having conditioning workouts. I said, guys, listen, you know, every day you got to come with that attitude to win. Every day you got to give 100% effort, and if you're not going to get 100% effort, just don't show up. And I mean, they came, and every day, you know, that chemistry is there, and it starts with my captains, Hugh Taggart, Aiden Moore, John Blair. You know, they're seniors. They've been in it for 4 years. I told my seniors, I said, look, guys, I'm your third head coach and your 4-year history here. You know,
exactly.
Now's the time you guys want to set that, you know, that foundation to just continue forward, and now's your opportunity. And I think they took that to heart, and the rest of my seniors. And every day it's 100%, and I'm excited. You know,
having said that can't be easy on them.
No,
you know, you don't want to have that turnover. You want consistency there. You know, I know Kevin had helped out with the guys, and he decided he's going strictly Lady Viking soccer, which I can understand that too. I mean, it's a lot. You know, he was on both sides. He was doing both programs. That's a lot. That probably is too much for anyone, you know.
And now with the baby,
yeah, exactly. So it's, you know, but you want to keep that consistency in there. The good thing is, I think that, you know, there's a couple of guys on here I know that I know for a fact, Aiden especially, that you can count on him. You could Hugh Taggart as well, but those guys, you know, they've got a good foundation of those 4 years. They don't want to go out.
Oh yeah.
Without doing something, you know, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
And so you have that those guys on your team that they can be vocal if they have to, that don't have to. They can lead by other examples, kind of thing. But let's talk a little bit about the roster, and because you've got, I think, a couple freshmen on there as well. So
yeah, and that's the one thing, and I have to credit that too. I think I tell this to anybody that'll listen to me, and I'll say it here. You know, what's different from this team from other kids that I've either coached or I've been around in the classroom, they listen. And they want to get better, and I credit a lot of that to the fact that my team's young. I mean, I was sitting over there before I came on doing the math. I've got 9 underclassmen, freshmen or sophomores, and then add in 4 juniors. I mean, I've got 13 non-seniors on the team, and those are 13 kids that next year they're going to be back.
Yeah.
And those freshmen especially, I've got some incredible freshmen. I mean, I've got 3 that start.
Right.
And they're only going to get better.
Right.
Logan Streetman, Evan Jones, and Alex Moore, Aiden's brother. You know, those 3 are freshmen. They start. They're going to get better.
Right.
The more they touch that ball, the more competitive they get. And, you know, I see that long-term future. It's looking way up there.
Yeah, way up, yeah.
But, yeah, no. And that, again, I think it goes back to that senior leadership, that foundation. These guys see this, you know, hey, what do we have to do? I think, two years ago was the first time since the 90s, I want to say. Could be wrong, since the 90s that we made regionals.
Right.
You know, they're tired of that. And they're ready to get better. And and I credit a lot of that to that hunger for winning.
Right.
And I love it.
Yeah, we talked about this, and I'm sure that you do know this too, but like you run through cycles where you get really good athletes.
Absolutely.
Freshman, sophomore class on all the every sport they're really special.
Yeah.
You know, they're freshmen now, and that's the thing that you have to realize. Or they're sophomores, and we saw it during football. You know, Coach Mays wasn't afraid. He threw them out there.
Yeah.
He did it last year, and of course it paid off this year. We've seen the same thing, you know, with the guys' basketball team. Baseball definitely last year, you know, it basically had a couple of guys, and you know, and of course Zach Hall was the standout for the seniors for that class last year. But you know, I was doing, and I've said this 1,001 times, you know, but I was doing the lineup during the district tournament last year and announced Zach Hall, senior pitcher. Jason Van Noy is sophomore or junior at first base, and it was sophomore, and Reese Profit, a freshman in right field, and they're going like, "Are you serious?" And I went, "Yeah," and they went, so they're back like 2 and 3 more years. I went, "Yeah," and there's some more right behind them, which is Vance's baseball team right now.
There you go.
And there's like 4 of those guys that their brothers are all playing on Tennessee High's varsity right now. So you've got that. Look at the basketball team. That sophomore class was really, really good on the guys' basketball team this year. Brandon Brown steps up as a freshman on the varsity team. A couple on the Lady Vikings team as well. They've got some growing pains as well. But then you look at wrestling team, and it was only 2 seniors on their whole team, and it was Lexi Worley, who's now playing softball, and Jess McCrae, who's now playing soccer. And that was only 2 seniors. One Lady Viking, Lexi, all by her lonesome as the Lady Viking, and then Judd, the only senior. And everybody's like, "Oh, all those guys are right, yeah." in the wrestling shorthanded to begin with, because they can't meet all the classes. So, you get a group of kids in here that that they love playing sports. They're very, very smart to begin with.
Yeah.
Very good students. And the other thing is too, they play multiple sports. And that's good. So there's some guys on here on your team that that are going to be playing, especially in football, or they have played, and you look and you actually got somebody that had played line one time in Oakley Powers.
I think he's going back next year. He told me he missed it. I said, well, I told you would.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, Coach Mays likes to have linemen because of their soccer skills and wrestling skills. All that works together. So, this class, though, Andy, it's who are you going to? We know 3 or 4 of those guys are going to start. Now, but who are you going to go with and starting out? Because I know the good thing is you've had these play the preseason stuff. You've gotten a chance to see all 21 guys, but
yeah.
So,
well, up top, not to give away too much, just because
you don't have to.
Because some people in Kingsport might be listening.
Well, they will. They're watching on Facebook too, which we're live on Facebook. But that's right now.
We up top we'll have Aiden Moore, and
I'd say they know about him already.
Yeah, they probably already know about him, and then probably Logan Streeman, who's a freshman, and then we'll also be having John Blair, a fellow senior, and Baker Hutton, also a senior. And I tell you, Baker has complete 180, matured up responsibility. I tell him every day, he has stepped up from. I've known him since he's a sophomore, so from the sophomore to now, I've gotten to see him grow, and he's just matured, and it showed on the field. The other night against Elizabeth, and all 3 of Aiden Moore's goals were off of 3 assists from Baker.
Right.
So Baker, and then Evan Jones, of course, who I said already. So another freshman, and then Oakley Powers. He'll probably be starting in the back, along with Alex Moore, Peyton Wilson, Zane Estes, and Aaron Howard.
Yeah.
And Zane and Aaron are and Oakley are my 3 lone juniors.
Yeah.
So, but they're back there in the back, and that really all starts with the defense.
Right.
And so that's a solid, I like to call them a solid brick wall, and they're good.
Yeah.
And then Hugh Taggart will probably be starting off in goal.
That's what I was getting ready to ask you.
And then he'll be commanding the whole thing. I like to.
That's a tough place to play too.
Yeah, and when you got people like Aiden Moore shooting on you every time, it's pretty difficult. But he holds his own, and and some of these kids, I was the JV head coach for the last 2 years, and some of these kids, just watching them grow and mature, not just in skill but in the classroom, they've earned it.
Right.
And every single one of these, and I tell my guys too all the time, I say, hey, look, just because you're not starting doesn't mean I'm not going to be throwing you in.
Exactly.
And I like to rotate in. I like to keep fresh feet out there, speed, endurance. It's important, especially in soccer, when you're going one field down the other in a matter of seconds. So I tell them, I say,
Ray knows all about that.
You want to come on out?
the thing is, just looking at your schedule, because it is such a physical thing. You know, it's not like, you know, running for 7 seconds and then calling the whistle, you know, where you get to rest for 20 seconds.
You're moving.
You're moving, and, you know, constantly. And you've got, I mean, once you get into April, you don't have any time off. You're going back to back to back, and maybe just a couple of days off.
Yeah, and
a couple of times there, you're back to get 26th, 27th, 28th, 24th, the 20th. I mean, there's no time there, so
yeah, a lot of that.
You will be moving people.
Oh yeah, and I tell my guys too. A lot of that, you know, you came to win. You came to play games. I had a couple kids say, "Why are we going all the way out to like Greenville and Knoxville?" I said, "Because that's where the competition is.
That's where you're going to get better.
That's who you need to play those guys if you want to get past conference, regionals. You know, if you want to make state, that's where you go.
You need to play. I know that's just like we're talking about Tennessee High's baseball team taking on both Morristown East and West this week, and Knox Central. You may see them down the road. You know, same thing. You know, tennis is coming up. Reedy's team's playing at Knox Webb at the Webb School one day now, next Tuesday, and then they're going to play Bearden in Johnson City because Bearden's not coming up here. You know, but they don't care who they play. No. You know, and their whole thing is, if we're not playing, the only way you're going to get better is play better competition.
Absolutely.
And you know, it's obvious that you have some. Science Hill and DB's going to be Science Hill and DB. I think we were leaving yesterday, and DB was just taking care of Crockett, you know, and it was still a lot of time left in that match, and you know, but they're always going to be there. You do get to play Greenville. You go, you know, South Doyle at the Castle. That's a good match right there. Yeah. Go to Knox Central. I think everybody's playing Knox Central this year. It seems like.
Yeah.
So you know, that's a pretty decent schedule right there. Oh, plus you're playing at Metcalf next weekend too. I forgot about that. So, and you pick up CAK.
I was going to say, and CAK was one. If they didn't win it last year, they're at least they're either one state or state runner up. So we get them round one on Friday night next Friday. So.
That's great, isn't it?
So it's
at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we're ready.
That's great.
And it is held in Kingsport, by the way.
Yeah, at the Eastern Field.
Yeah. If you don't know where those are, those over. Oh, they moved. No, they are at Eastman Fields, right?
Yeah, I think if you get off the exit before the Meadowview Convention Center, you take a left and just follow the road.
Yeah.
Something similar like that.
It's down there over the creek.
I've been there.
The river.
Rachel used to live cross country.
Yeah. So
you know, your assistant coaches? Who are your assistant coaches?
Well, I've got Brian Johnson, who you probably know, Mary Johnson, the swim coach. It's her husband.
Okay.
So he stepped up and filled in one of the assistant voids, and then the other one, my other assistant and also the JV head coach is Aaron Cross, who is a fellow teacher, brothers Andrew Cross.
Oh, okay.
So they both stepped up, and then I've got a couple guys that come once or twice a week to kind of help out. I have a young man from King, Jake Davis, comes and helps our goalies about once or twice a week. He kind of volunteers his time, and then I have another gentleman, Robert Russell, who comes and helps with our defense about once a week. So I've got a lot of guys in the community. Really, you know, I reached out there, and you know, Aaron is an alumni,
right?
So we're just really big on that. You know, I think one of the things that Coach Wade and Mrs. Kirk are really pushing is that, you know, improving that Viking pride, that Viking culture, and it's showing. I mean, you've got
it definitely is.
You've got, and we've got. I mean, people came to the alumni game.
Right.
I've never seen before, and I'm like, hey, all right, there we go. But you know, and I think sometimes soccer gets a little left out from all the fanfare. But you know, I've heard nothing but, I mean, people who I know have never even watched a soccer game come up and say, hey, when's your game? When you coming?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. You know, really interested, going to be out there. And I credit a lot of that to just this culture and, you know, just everything's improving.
You know, I know we get caught where we wish we could go to everything.
Oh, yeah.
We just can't, you know. I mean, you know, I know when Adonis was playing at Tennessee High, I'd see him or talk to mom or whomever, and or they'd send me a message said, Dave, we're playing, do you have baseball?
Yeah.
You know, it's that kind of thing. You know, we try to get, that's why I think it's important for us to get information about every single sport, as many athletes over there. It's you know, it's all about them, and it's about the school. And if we can promote, you know, every single sport we can, we're going to do it.
Oh yeah, and you guys do it on Facebook all the time.
You know,
it's much appreciated.
Listen, we're glad to do it. You know, so. You know, hopefully at some point in time you can come back down and bring a couple of guys with you.
I'd love to.
Yeah. And I also think that they need to do that. They need that exposure where they're talking and.
Well, you were talking the Atomic Wing Challenge. I do have to brag on Jorge. Well, we call him George Estrada. Yeah. He did it, and last year we had a team dinner, and he did it, and he won it. And I said, "You're a little manlier than me. I'll admit it."
I'm not doing it.
I said, "Not me." But he did it, and he got the T-shirt and his name on
it. Put up here on the board right here behind me. Yeah, man, a lot. We had it happen during football season, and I don't know if he made it, but he ate them.
Ate the T-shirt too. So.
I believe he probably about had to tell you the truth. Andy, you know, best wishes on the season.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, I hope to get over there because I thoroughly enjoy it. You know, I think I've got to go to maybe one match last year. 2 years ago, I bet I went to 4 or 5 of them though. I love it, and you know, I like getting over there and seeing them play. It's a lot of fun. So you get started in earnest next Tuesday, March 20th. Get the Indians at the Castle, and then Friday. You know, it'd be what, Saturday and Sunday.
Friday and Saturday.
23rd and 24th. Metcalf tournament down at Eastman Fields down in Kingsport, and that's a round robin kind of thing. You win, you advance, and move up in brackets, drop in brackets, a whole 9 yards. But it starts early. It starts really early on Saturday.
Saturday morning, nice and early.
Those are 8 o'clock starts, I think, aren't they? I thought so.
Yeah, and that DB game, my guys at the beginning of the year, I said, all right, 3 things. What do you want out of this season? Just about every single one of them circled that game.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you're free Tuesday night, 6 o'clock.
Hop on there and get over there and see them. Yeah.
We'll need that
we
fan.
Want all the support we can get out there. That's a fact. So
we got it though. We got it.
I think so. And if you ever need, you know, we put stuff out on Twitter all the time. You can follow us at Vikings ESPN 981. That's our Twitter handle. And we put stuff out on all the sports, and of course we try to get as much as we can on Vikings soccer. We do the same thing on Facebook, on the Voice of the Vikings Facebook page. Everything we try to keep it updated as much as possible. So if you don't know when they're playing, I can assure you if they're playing that day by 7:30 that morning, it'll be on both Facebook and Twitter. And if you need to know if there's something happens that gets changed or all that, we'll take care of that as well. But Andy, best wishes to you. Thanks for coming down. It's been a lot of fun.
And to get to meet the head coaches is just so cool, and I've been impressed with all of them just as I am with you.
Thank you.
Look forward to the season.
Yeah, it
is. Shirt you got too.
Yeah, hey, we sold some shirts, and this was some of the gear the kids got, and I had a leftover sweatshirt, so I said, I'll take that.
You get it, exactly. So
no, I sold my fair share, though.
Yeah, that's all that matters. You had to sell both of them, right? They had to sell 20. That's kidding. But we do, Andy, again, in all honesty, thanks for coming down. Andy Snyder, the head coach of the Vikings soccer team. Again, they get started next Tuesday, the 20th. At the Castle at 6 o'clock with the Indians out of Kingsport, and get out there and support Vikings soccer every time you get a chance. We appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thanks
gentlemen.
for everybody for listening in to us tonight. For Ray Johnson and for Daniel, our engineer back in studio, this is David Dow. Coming up next right here on ESPN, it's Sports Magazine with Scott Gracie. It's 3 straight hours and nothing but local sports right here on ESPN Tri-Cities. Nobody does it better. I'm telling you right now, the numbers prove it.
Great show
and,
last week.
yes, we did. So thanks again, everybody. Ray and I will see you tomorrow at 4:45. We'll be in Morristown at Morristown West tomorrow with games with the Vikings with Granger County and Morristown West. It's too early for them big old tomatoes, though, Ray. So everybody have a great night. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you tomorrow right back here on ESPN Tri-Cities. And the voice of the Vikings is always go Lady Vikings and Vikings. Good night, everybody.
At Bill Gatton Honda, we make car buying easy with our competitive pricing and award-winning service. Get a 2017 Honda Civic LX as low as $169 a month. Or how about the 2017 Honda HR-V LX for only $189 a month? And don't forget our 2017 Honda Fit LX for $139 a month. Visit us online 24/7 at BillGattonHonda.com. And remember, we've got a Honda with your name on it. Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol, we have a used vehicle with your name on it. We have the region's largest selection of used vehicles. Don't miss your chance to save thousands on hundreds of certified, pre-owned imports, domestics, trucks, cars, and SUVs. You get a KBB instant cash offer to buy your vehicle whether you trade or not. Visit us online at BillGattonHonda.com or come by and see us in Bristol on the Parkway. And remember, at Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol, we have a used vehicle with your name on it.
Welcome to Bill Gatton Honda. We want to make your experience simple and easy. Our staff has been servicing our area for generations. You will always be greeted with a smile and receive friendly service. At Bill Gatton Honda, you're not just a friend, you're family. We dedicate our time and experience to helping you find the right car for your needs. Come see us today and let us help you make car buying simple. Because at Bill Gatton Honda, we got a Honda with your name on it.